So what are we to do? If you, like me, were dependent upon that one platform and find yourself trying to accommodate these other platforms and the restrictions, you understand my frustration right now because hero readings don't get accomplished in 3-minute videos, but I do have a YouTube. Thank you for following me on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads, which is where I primarily post. But most importantly, if you would subscribe to my YouTube, it is the Astral Healing Witch, the same username, no extra formatting. That would be probably the best way to stay in touch with me. I hope to be able to utilize that. I don't have the energy to keep creating new platform accounts and building from the ground up over and over again. As much as I would love to see that occurring somewhere where creators like us, spiritual witchy woo woo, TikTok, witch talk refugees can feel accomplished, let me know. Let me know where you're at and I'll join you. But for now, for real though, it's not even funny. It's not funny. No, but for real, like, wait, this is difficult. I think, especially if you're a creator, you feel a little bit defeated right now. But I think the energy for everyone is like, why do the things that we appreciate and hold on to keep getting ripped away from us? Now, I don't want to hear any arguments about national security. If you watch the Senate hearings, you know that uh, that's not how it works. But as well as the companies that we have right here in the U.S. are using our data for whatever they feel like, anyway. But regardless, let's talk about the Tower card because the Tower card does elicit fear. But what it suggests to me right now is that our focus needs to lie on allowing things to occur. This is the natural stream of things. The entropy process, it is created, it's destroyed, it breaks down, and it comes back, it builds back up. Natural life cycle is as such. We are born, we grow, we age, and then we return to the earth. The Tower card speaks of that type of cycle as well. Now, this is the process where we're witnessing it. And the Tower card represents this energy of trying to fight this process from occurring, trying to stop it. You look at it and you go, no. But that energy is not going to stop it from happening. Instead, if we recognize the tower for what it was a foundation that was built up of our ideas, of our creation, of our philosophy, of our the situation that we knew as it was in our life, right? Representative representative of that nature. It is only healthy for that to be destroyed at times. What is remaining after a destructive period is the kind of stuff that cannot be destroyed. It can't be taken from you. So while you may feel as though you have to begin again when this happens, and that is true to some extent, you can also look at what's left in the rubble. What's left there? What remains after the Tower card has completed when we allow it to take its course? We then have the energy to go and kind of sift through what's there. And what we find is that there are building blocks that were so indestructible, that were so absolutely rock solid, that they were not damaged, they were not touched. So you then take those foundational points and it gives you a nice, strong, tempered base to begin again. It removes everything that's no longer for us in order to present us with an opportunity to build fresh. And this fresh build is with all of the wisdom that we have obtained in that time frame. We can do it better. We're smarter. We've learned how to be more efficient with it, right? Every time you have to begin again, you do a better job of it because you have more to work with. And the things that you were left remaining after this cycle pretty solid. So you can use them over and over again. You'll find that it's very rare that some of the foundational aspects of yourself are ever touched, especially if you have been working in the spiritual sense, you have been working in the self improvement areas. There are some things that you get to take with you and you get to build again. So, yeah, it's a little disappointing to see this card come up, and yet we know that what remains when the smoke clears is going to be something that we can really truly build from, and we're going to do it better, smarter, wiser. So, actually, I want to hit this card. We've got that hangman. There is a sense of what do we do next? Um, well, sometimes you just take some time to rest. I think it's a good time for us to just kind of focus on what exists in front of us that we know is there. Focus on the audiences that you have in front of you. Focus on the friends that are in front of you. Spend some time with them in real life. Let's get some gatherings going. Let's take some rejuvenation time. Clean up that hard drive. Go through that content that you've already got and maybe repurpose it, because it's not lost. It can be used. There's things that can be done with that work. And there's no need, I think, to rush to the next thing. That's where I hesitate, because when you deal with this power, it isn't really sensible to go rushing in while it's still happening, right? You make rash decisions, and those decisions can turn out to not be the greatest decisions. Um, One of the things that I realized, people were mentioning certain platform names that they were going to rush to. And I went to try to create an account on one of them, and it had already crashed. It wasn't even accepting new users. And I was just like, they weren't even capable of handling that level of interest. So it doesn't make any sense for me to go and jump into the next thing right now, right? The hangman is about, let's just think, wait, see what we have, work with what we got. Let's evaluate. Let's take some time to commune with ourselves, with each other, to rejuvenate, to rest. Be smart about it instead of just diving into the next thing and hoping that we're going to find what we just got taken from us, what was just left behind. Anytime you're walking away from a tower position, anytime you're walking away from a tower position, you need to take a moment. So that's what that hangman is about. And we've got the high priestess. I mean, talk about powerful cards. There's three of the most powerful cards in the deck. Trust yourself. Do you feel honestly like things are going to ultimately be okay? Because I do. I always have this sense about things where I'm like, I don't want to jump into like the mass delusions of things. I also don't want to have a sense of unwavering optimism, because I think that's a little silly. But there's also this part of me that was just kind of like, don't panic. It will work out. It will be okay. And that part made sense. That part had like a lot of reasonable feelings to it. That one sounded like the most rational way to think. It was just like, oh, we don't really know yet. There's a lot of things we don't know yet. And it just doesn't make sense to panic. It doesn't make sense to jump to conclusions. So just trust yourself. See what happens. And I think you'll know when the time is right. And we can trust that. I pulled up this opportunity card. I'm going to try to condense my oracle cards to 3-minute videos. Opportunity. This is a fresh start for some of us. For some of us, this is a chance to just step back for a moment and evaluate what we have, what we can accomplish, what our goals are, to reorganize, to restructure. Go back to what you've already built and take a look at that and see what can be done with it. There's a lot of energy with the opportunity card that isn't necessarily about jumping into new things. And while there are going to be new opportunities, what we find is that sometimes we need to revisit things that already exist with a fresh mind, with a fresh start in our hearts, and go, but what's here isn't so bad. Let's see what can be done with it. I do think that there are going to be some really wonderful connections built from this experience. I think ultimately we all seek the same thing, and we are going to try even harder to find each other and to join together and to work together to survive through whatever is thrown at us, whatever next step occurs. And so let's take that as an opening to do that, regardless of what is to occur. Let's look at this as a chance to see what can happen, see what else is out there, see what else is waiting for us, and also revisit the things you have. Go through the content that you have. Go through the metaphorical closet, so to speak, and dig out what's in there and find them outfits you haven't worn in a while. Take a few days off. Look at things with a fresh mind, not just brand new things and jumping to the next thing, but thinking about new ways to utilize what we have in front of us. The opportunity is broad. It's not just go forward, new things. There is so many different ways that we can view this energy. And I really think that there's some real creative, innovative, inspiring folks out there who are going to come up with something great. And I can't wait to see what you figure out from this. So use this. Let's see what happens. Truth transcends illusion. Oh, this is such a powerful card in this time, right? Because there is a sense of misinformation going about right now. There's a very confusing, very you can't really trust what's being said. We don't really know everything. Is we get one thing and then we get another thing and then another thing. And I just really have no interest in putting a lot of energy and thought into all of these things that are being said. My energy is better spent focusing on what's in front of me, something that I can do something about, actually tangibly do something about. Um, and that is working with what I've got. I've got a lot in front of me, and there's plenty I can do with that. So when I focus on that and I just say, let's just see what happens, what I find is that you will see the truth come out. We will see some rise to real information. We will see what's going to happen next. But it is not going to happen in the fog and smoke and flashing lights that are occurring right now. There's a lot of, I think, attempts to distract. And I think that what we're going to find is that these attempts to distract were for purpose, that it was a get our attention off of something that's occurring so that something else is occurring that is occurring is not going to be noted. There's some general unrest about, and if we are scattered, then what we don't fully see what's happening because it's happening over here and we're all over here. We're very distracted. Uh, but that can't last. And that's what Spirit's telling us in this card. That doesn't last. There's no way that continues. In fact, it will come to light, and then we'll have to make decisions about what we're going to do with it in the future. So I think ultimately, if we focus on what is to be done right now, and we just focus on that, we will see what we need to see clearly in the light as soon as the smoke clears, and we just need to give it that moment to happen. So let's just kind of focus on what's in front of us and trust that Spirit is going to show us the truth when the truth can be revealed properly. Guide our illuminated path. I feel like I'm pulling today for all of the other creators out here who are so lost. Um, I feel very confidently in my decision to sit back and use this opportunity to take a different approach, but also to rehone in my efforts on things that I had already started, to make sure that I'm finishing what I had started, to work on the communities that I already have access to. Um, this is my path, is to guide, to open up the eyes of individuals, to work through spirit, to share the messages of the collective conscience that guides us all. We are all this fractal being of light, and we are all experiencing life from the perspective of this collective. And so we often share feelings and emotions, which can become very heightened and very overwhelming for some. And I found that I tend to be able to ground myself very efficiently and be able to really sit and reason and not panic and not fall into the chaos. And I've realized that this is very comfortably my role in this situation as well, to be able to sit back and say, well, let's wait till the smoke clears. I feel very confidently that things will work out the way that they need to. I feel very confidently where we're going to understand why and how and who soon enough. I don't think that can be hidden from us. I think that we are very powerful together and we will survive everything. We can double down our efforts, supporting each other, creating our community wherever we are not going to be banned. Um, and while there are lots of other um, opportunities out there for some of us to check out, I trust that you'll report back and let us know what you're finding. I am a little bit skeptical about some of the things that are occurring right now, because I don't think that those are going to be solutions long term, and it just doesn't feel right to me. I admire the effort and the tenacity of individuals who have been pushing towards these other things, and I think that's wonderful. In my own energy and in my own intuition, it says that right now I just need to focus on what's in front of me and use what I have, and use it effectively and help others bring their energy down to that grounded level and do the same. And let's just take this as an opportunity to regroup, to build our community, to reconnect, to make sure that we're all supporting each other in these times, and sharing a lot of love, and supporting everyone in the ways that they need to be supported. And that may mean that some of us are going to branch out, and it may mean that others are going to just kind of hold down the fort. So in the meantime, I'm just going to hold down the fort, and I'm going to be here for you. And if you would like to share with me, and if you would like to vent in the comments, feel free. Go ahead, say what you need to say. I'm here with you, babies. So much love, and thank you for being here with me, because I'm so happy that you're here.